Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to a special episode of Unsolicited Genius. This is our Super Bowl reactions show. So we will not be doing headliners and Are You Entertained and all of them other things. We are simply reacting and responding to what transpired last night. Talk a little bit about the overall season, talk a little bit about what may be happening in the off season, but we start the show with Super Bowl, what was it, 58?
Yeah.
58, man.
And what ultimately transpired with the 49ers and the Chiefs. So Uncle Mo, I love you. And I was pulling for the 49ers. The one thing that I recognized with the 49ers, with the game last night, is I don't like the 49ers. We got so much history. But my heart was in that game.
Carlton's a Giants fan for
It,
context.
it didn't it didn't go your way, but you showed up for us. So how you feeling today?
Like shit, man. What kind of question is that?
Yeah.
Just to be honest with you, man, I won't lie. Like people ask me how I feel, and the word is just hurt. I'm hurt. I
Yeah.
really am, man.
Yeah.
I won't lie to y'all. So even though it's just a game and it's not life or death or anything, you still.
Let's put that disclaimer out there to our audience, ladies and gentlemen. We are fully aware that this is just a game. We know that.
I'm not
We
calling for
know that.
anyone's death or anything like that.
We
It's not
we
that
know
serious.
it's a game. We know we overreact. We know this is not reality. We know there's more important things, yet we still feel. So
I'm
my
a fan,
question,
man, and I'm a passionate person. I'm passionate about our people. I'm passionate about issues that I feel are unjust. That passion translates to all aspects of life for me. And fan is really just short for fanatic. And I'm not one of those people that's sending death threats or sliding in anybody's DM about it because it is just a game. But as someone that loves this team and has loved this team since I was 5 years old, it hurt to lose in that manner. But credit to the Chiefs, man. There's no, I'm not one of those fans that's going to blame the refs or anything like that. That's not why we lost the game. We lost the game because the Chiefs had more points than us at the end.
Thank you for not saying it's rigged.
I don't believe in that shit, so you'll never hear me say that, man. Just a couple of things in the game, man. Mahomes is, easily top 5 quarterback of all time after yesterday. In my mind, he's number 3. I'm not willing to put him ahead of Montana yet because Montana still has 4 and was 4-0. I definitely got him behind Montana. I got him as the 3rd best quarterback ever, though. But in a lot of ways, to me, San Francisco just, I'm not going to go rehash the whole game, Carlton. But the things that stand out in my mind is the end of the regulation. We run the clock down to 2 minutes. We have 3rd and 4. They have 2 timeouts left. And in my mind, if we could get a first down right there, that at minimum makes it so Mahomes gets the ball back with anywhere from 50 to a minute left with no timeouts and needs to get the field goal to tie it. I thought that was a critical juncture in the game. San Francisco wasn't not able to get that first down. Not only weren't they able to get the first down, the pass was incomplete, so it stopped the clock. It let Kansas City keep their 2 timeouts. And then Mahomes just easily drove them down the field for the field goal to tie the game. I thought that was when you're playing a great quarterback, I feel like you need to stomp them out. You can't afford to give them the ball back. And that's exactly what they did. So Mahomes tied the game up in overtime. And this is my biggest beef with the game yesterday. Is Kyle Shanahan. I'll never understand why in a situation where both teams are getting the ball, he chose to go on offense first and not put the Chiefs on offense first. that's the one today that when I go back through the game, it's just baffling to me. And I know other parts of the game contributed to the loss. I'm not taking away from that. We fumbled, the muff punt, all of this contributed. But when you're playing the game, the players are going to make mistakes. Adrenaline's high, stakes are high, pressure's high. They're going to make mistakes. But for a coach, in my mind, to mess up something as simple as the decision in the coin toss, that part to me was inexcusable. That part to me, I'll never get that far, Carlton. Craig, I'll never understand.
No arguments, nothing. This is not a debate. This is a reaction show. So today is a reaction show. So no, debate. You saw what you saw. You felt what you felt. I think from my side of it,
I'd love to hear the people that there are people that are defending him going on offense first, and the shit makes absolutely no sense to me.
I mean, from my side of it, yeah. I mean, if you as a coach, you have some coaches that prefer to, kick off first. Coaches prefer to receive first. But I think with the new overtime rules, you got to know that this is what's going on. Hold on, Craig, what you doing, man? We live, right? We see your bathroom. We know this is a special show, but I don't think you want it to be that special.
Craig thought this was the uncut. What is
he
that?
Thought this was Unsolicited After Dark. No, not yet.
That's what Craig thought it was.
We have not green lighted Unsolicited After Dark
my
yet.
Bad.
With Craig.
Yeah. You got the lights, and we not there yet. It's if the ladies want you like they want Usher, we'll get there. We just not there yet. But so you talked about the overtime decision. And for me, it was an overall good game. First half was a little slow. First half was,
and ended
slow.
Up being
it was defensive.
Game.
I wondered, well, first, I felt like the 49ers needed more points in the first half. This is Pat Mahomes. He's a fourth quarter quarterback. Some way, somehow, get another field goal. Have a little more urgency while you have them down. The fact that you held them to 3 points in the first half is a credit to the defense, but we know that this Pat Mahomes, some way, somehow, he will make it to the end zone at least once. But my question, and either of you can react to this as you see fit, I didn't understand why the 49ers just didn't run more, period. I felt like I was watching them try to make this Purdy versus Mahomes. Like he was in shotgun a lot. He dropped back a lot. He threw He threw 38 passes, and Christian McCaffrey had 22 runs, and but the next highest number of runs is Purdy with 3. I just would have expected, having seen what the 49ers running game has done to people, that there would have been a bigger commitment to the run in order to keep Mahomes on the field less while you also wear out that defense.
We've been seeing something.
Go ahead, Craig. I'm sorry.
I actually heard somebody speak to that today on the water cooler at Work Talk, just in the idea that round after round, we see where a coach might have something going successful in the first half, and then they come back in the second half and do less per capita of what was successful in the first half. They just go away from whatever was successful and seem to do it less, even with no obvious indicators in scheme of change in scheme from the other team. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Mo got a little bit. He was a little bit more invested in the game. Maybe he noticed something as to why they changed it up so much second half as the first.
Well, I think part of the problem in the second half, and especially the third quarter, is we didn't run a lot of plays, Carlton. I don't know if you remember, like the first 4 possessions, I think, of the second half, we just went 3 and out. So that's only 12 plays right there. And I also think that I think Kansas City made an adjustment to where they were selling out for the run on first down, Carlton. I thought he should have thrown.
Okay.
I thought he should have thrown like swing passes and wide receiver screens on first down to use that as like a substitute run, and then run more on second down and catch them more off guard. I thought that's what I would like to see. But I'm not going to question him as a play caller because he's a great offensive mind. Not even good. He's a great offensive mind. Do I think we should have ran the ball more? Yes, I would have liked us to see it run it more when they weren't expecting us to run, though. Because I think when he got I think he tried to run it on first down, but when you get stuffed on first down, right now it's 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, and we ended up in a lot of 3rd and longs in that third quarter, and we had no rhythm at all in the third quarter. Then we had that muff punt, which to me was critical in the game because if we're being honest, Kansas City's offense didn't do shit. Like until that muff punt, they weren't moving the ball like that on us, and that was their first touchdown was off that muff punt. But once again, a lot of shit happens during a game, man, and I'm not disagreeing that all of it contributes to the win or loss. I'm not even saying we win the game in overtime if with that coin toss decision. I just don't get the coin toss decision. It's the one thing that just bothered me tremendously today because when I think about the scenario, right, like Carlton, Craig, what advantage does he get by giving the ball to Mahomes second? What advantage does that garner him?
So this doesn't answer your question because it doesn't give him an advantage. The only thing I thought about, because you saw some headlines that said players didn't know the rules. It had to be an old.
He knew the rule.
It had to be an old way of thinking because in the way the college rules go, you go down. Well, it doesn't even apply in college.
I'm glad you said that.
It doesn't even apply in college.
Football,
I don't know.
In college football, have you ever seen the team win the toss go on offense first?
No. So I guess it's the old NFL rules that he was.
But no, Kyle knew the rules. Who cares if the players? Yes.
Right.
His quote was, in case we were tied after the first 2 possessions, I wanted us to have the ball first in a sudden death format. Because after these first 2 possessions, it became sudden death. If they score touchdown, it then becomes sudden death. Whoever scores first. That explanation makes zero sense to me. And this is why. I disagree with him taking the ball first because I feel once he did that, it allowed the Chiefs to dictate the game to the 49ers. Because now, hear me on this, please. The minute he takes the ball, if we score a field goal or a touchdown, he gives Mahomes an extra down because Mahomes knows they have to go for it now.
They have to go
either be in field goal range or if they need the touchdown. He's the best player in the world. You're giving him an extra down to get 10 yards. I would rather have that advantage when I had the ball. That's one. The other thing is, let's walk through the scenarios. We get the ball, we don't score. Now all they need is a field goal and they win the game. We get the ball, we kick a field goal is what happened. All they need is a touchdown to win the game. Let's say we even get the ball and we score a touchdown, Carlton. Now Kyle Shanahan has to decide, am I going to go for 1 or 2? And if he goes for 2 and doesn't get it, we're up 6. All they need is the touchdown and extra point, and they're in. If he goes for 2 and gets it, then the Chiefs already know what they have to do. We need a touchdown. We need a 2-point conversion.
Right.
If we go up 7, this is my question to y'all boys. They're getting the ball again, right? And they score a touchdown. Do you think Andy Reid is going to allow us to get the ball back in the sudden death scenario? Or is he going to go for 2?
He's going for 2.
With Mahomes. Because he has Mahomes and you need 2 yards.
And I already got a couple Super Bowls.
Baffles me. If you wanted to make it sudden death, Kyle, give him the ball, then make them make that tough decision. And if they kick the 1 point, the extra point, then you can make it sudden death, my guy. You could just go for 2.
Right.
I don't get why they allowed the Chiefs to dictate the game to us when we won the coin toss. I almost felt like the minute Fred Warner said we're receiving the ball, you could almost see the smirk on Mahomes' face. Like,
didn't he cheer?
At the end of the day, Carlton, and this is my greatest point to the people that are arguing with me that his decision was okay, is would you rather put your life on the line, Carlton or Craig, with the ball in your hands, or have your life on the line and Mahomes has the ball and gets to decide your fate? That's my point, dog. Like, that is my point. Who the hell decides the best solution is to end the game with Patrick Mahomes holding the football?
I heard a clip where he said he's never been the villain. You know, that's not his MO as he perceives himself, but as he's being viewed and described amongst the fan base and those who watch the game, he said, if that's what I am, so be it.
If you're great at something, man, you're gonna eventually become the villain. What's the Batman quote, dog? If you're the hero, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Mm-hmm. If you're great, people are gonna hate you and people are going to cheer against you. And he's great, but it blows my mind that Kyle Shanahan was like, yeah, I want to end this game with the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands.
Well, we talk about, you and I, we collectively talk about the coaches being too smart, right? Overthinking it or trying to come up with that extra something that I got the solution and resolution to that nobody else has ever come up with. And, you know, for me, being a Giants fan, Bill Parcells was, you know, my first coach. It's the tried and true. Just do it better than the other person. You don't have to get overly cute. You don't have to be able to solve the Pythagorean theorem and know all 18,000 numerals in pi. Just run the ball, score the points, coach.
In any aspect of life, Carlton, wouldn't you like to have as much information possible at your disposal before you make the decision? Give them the damn ball. That way you know what you need to do. Why I don't think people understand how critical it was once he gave him that extra down, because it came into play. If Kansas City has the ball first, right? And it's 4th and 1 from their own 30, Carlton, Andy Reid probably goes for it, but he has to think about it a little more, because if they don't get it, we're going to win the game. We're already in field goal range. Mm-hmm. Another friend of ours, another one of our frat brothers said, well, the problem was they kicked the field goal and didn't get the touchdown. But if you let Mahomes go first and they get the touchdown, you don't work. The reason why he kicked the field goal is because he started thinking, I better have some kind of points better than no points, because it's Mahomes. It's Mahomes. To the day I'm in the ground, dog, I'll always wonder. And I'm not telling you we win the game if he gives the ball to the Chiefs. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying it's the only factor in the game, because there's a million factors. Like, they could have killed the game in regulation if they could have got one more first down. They were 2 first downs away from being Super Bowl champions. 2 first downs away. You know, they had other moments to win this game, but just because you had other moments to win the game and it doesn't happen doesn't excuse you, in my mind, making what I consider to be just a dumbass decision. Like, it's like he became Marty Morinway. Do you remember who Marty Morinway was?
Nope.
He was the coach of the Lions, who in sudden death overtime won the coin toss and took the wind instead of the ball, because it was 40-mile-per-hour winds in Chicago.
When was that?
That was a while ago, dog, a long time ago. It was like 40-mile-per-hour winds, and he takes the wind instead of the ball in sudden death. The Bears go down there, and guess what? They kick the field goal in the 40-yard mile-per-hour winds, and they won the game.
In the heavy wind.
But this wasn't sudden death. Dog, when we won the toss, I was so excited, Carlton. When I saw Fred Warner say we're receiving the ball, there's people here that are witnesses. I said, what the F are we doing? Yeah. I thought he made a mistake.
All right. All
I'm
right.
just
So,
That's
I'm
all right.
rough.
baffled that he could be this great of a coach and make such a stupid, in my mind, a stupid decision, man. I wanted to retire this hat. This hat says 5 times Super Bowl champions. I wanted to retire this
No,
hat. Now I'm not
not yet.
retiring it. It
Not yet.
lives. Because it's
Not yet.
factual, Carlton. That's why we can't retire. We're not 6-time champions. We're still 5-time champions.
Uh,
And my heart can't take this shit anymore, man. Like,
which part you say this one hurts more, and if you don't mind sharing as we stick, with your pain, I do want to get Craig's reaction to the game, but as we stick to your pain, why does this one hurt more?
I'll share with you, America. You know, my son is 4 now, dog, and he kind of understands. I wanted to celebrate a Super Bowl win with my kid. That's why it hurts more. I really wanted to celebrate the win with my son, and I had people over here like, and when Kansas City scored that touchdown, I just stood up. I said good night, and I went straight upstairs, dog. Like, and I just left everyone here. And no, I did not cry. I'm not gonna cry because the team lost the sporting event. I was just like, this team's brought me a lot of joy in my life, but they've also brought me some of my greatest heartbreaks. Like, this is right up there with me to when Roger Craig fumbled against the Giants in the
Oh, it's like
89
that.
season.
It's
Yeah,
like
like
that.
in the 89 season when after I watched Leonard Marshall destroy Joe
Crunch.
Montana's bat, and then
Crunch.
we're trying to kill the game, and Lawrence Taylor makes Roger Craig fumble, and Barr, you remember your kicker Barr? He had the single mass Barr, and his last name was Barr, and he kicked the winning field goal. Then I watched y'all win the Super Bowl against Buffalo,
The
and that
Whitney
was
Houston
us.
Bowl.
Yeah, that was us going for a three-peat. And that cost us our chance at going for a three-peat. So I don't know, man. I really wanted to celebrate it with my kid, dog. Like, to have that moment with my kid, because and I don't teach Carlton many lessons in life. He's a wise man. But I taught him a lesson after we
Yeah.
lost to Baltimore in the Super Bowl. Carlton said, "Y'all young will be back." And I looked at Carlton and I said, "That's not how it works in football, dog. You don't know when you're coming back. You
Nope.
just don't know. Unless you have a guy like Mahomes or Brady, like, you just don't know when you're coming
Y'all
back."
had Kaepernick, so yeah, you
Dog, the
don't
Niners,
know.
what? The Niners, we've gone 29 years now without winning the Super Bowl. Since 2011, we've been in 7 NFC championship games and 3 Super Bowls, and we haven't won one.
But you're right. You taught me that lesson, and you all have been back. It's still just it hasn't happened. So we got a guest. Good evening, Dr. Young. Welcome to the show. Craig, we gonna tell us what you think. Dr. Young will chime you in. We got to get Brother Craig's reactions overall to the game.
No, well, first of all, I was not as invested as Mo was because I'm not a fan of the 49ers. I'm also not a Chiefs fan. So my investment was very little. I ain't gonna lie to you. I enjoyed the hell out the game. Sorry, Mo.
It was a great game to watch.
Yeah, I enjoyed the game. Okay, the player coach in me is like, the tale of two halves thing always trips me out. And I don't think, respectfully, I've heard a good enough explanation for the tale of two halves on the 49ers side yet. I don't think I saw enough adjustments by KC to justify. I get it. I hear what you're saying on the first down stops, but abandoning the run like that in general was just, I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm not understanding.
Run plays to establish the run. They just didn't run enough plays in the third quarter because they couldn't get a first down. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a volume thing. I hear you. And
yeah,
you know,
like,
so
you gotta run plays.
Outside of that though, it was, I outside of that, I want to defer my time to Dr. Young.
Dr. Young.
I ain't seen bro. I ain't get to hear bruh's voice in so long that man, screw what I gotta say about some game that already passed. What's up, Doc? Good to see you,
Hey,
bro.
what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, man.
I'm laughing at Dr. Young's thing. He, him, his. I'm with you, dog. I'm with you.
Nah, go back and capitalize him though, bro. Capital he, capital him, capital his.
I see him. I see him.
You are that man. You are all of them.
Capitalize.
So you watched the game. Were you also with Uncle Mo? Were you part of that?
No, man. Actually,
he was on a private jet.
I was blessed, man. I was blessed over this past weekend, man. My mom turned 80.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, we had a little celebration for her down in Miami. So me being the frugal person that I am, I chose the least expensive plane tickets. Not to, put two and two together that they were least expensive because it was Super Bowl time. But I had an opportunity to watch the Super Bowl on plane.
I have a question for you, Dr. Young. Did you
What's
fly? Did you fly Spirit?
Come on now,
you
man. You
wouldn't have been able to watch it if it was
I
Spirit.
wouldn't have been able to watch. I wouldn't have been able to watch it if I was on. No, I was in Comfort Plus.
Oh, my dog.
Yeah.
All right. So who were you cheering for?
Actually, man, I was just sitting back enjoying the whole game, man.
Okay.
I'm a fan of both teams. Both teams have phenomenal players. I have respect for both of the coaches. I was just sitting back enjoying the whole football experience, man. It was, for me, watching that game in the early, it was, two, top tier teams battling. The defenses played, spectacular. From San Francisco's perspective, I think they had a couple of injuries that were kind of pivotal for them.
This man tore his Achilles running onto the field. It's unbelievable, dog.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I felt bad for him for that one, man. But I think I can boil this game down to, and I'm not sure if this is can be adequate, but yeah, I mean, we're talking about coaches and stuff, but man, players on the field. I mean, you got an elite quarterback on one team, and you got a good quarterback on the other.
There's a big difference.
I think that for me, I mean, I saw the elite versus a good quarterback.
Can I ask you something, Chick? I don't know if you're listening to my rant about the overtime. Did you see the overtime?
I saw some of
back
it.
to the overtime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know, Doc? Because I want to hear his opinion on it.
No, it's your team. You got it, baby.
Do you know they changed the overtime rules in the playoffs, right, Chick?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Each team gets the ball once.
Yeah.
San Francisco wins the toss, and they choose to.
I want the ball second.
I didn't even need to finish the thing. Doc, my great point about that, dog, is if I'm gonna die in this Super Bowl, right? I want to die with the ball in my hands, not in Patrick Mahomes' hands. Who hands Rambo an assault rifle?
Fourth down. I want to die on fourth down. I want 4 downs.
I want to know if I need to go for it. I have 4 downs to do what I need to do. Dog, my point is, who gives Patrick Mahomes 4 downs?
Not me. I sure
to get
would
10
not.
yards.
I would sure not.
You know what just came to my mind when you talk about elite, because that was one of my observations. Purdy is good, and I think y'all got a quarterback, but there were, what are those moments? We don't know, right? It was an incomplete pass, but if it was Mahomes, would he have found a way to complete the pass? But who you all did have that was elite, which further justifies your point, is Christian McCaffrey. When we talk about those 4th downs and possibly, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, you got Christian McCaffrey, and he had already shown what he can be, what he can do throughout the playoffs. But with running backs of his magnitude, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Marshall Faulk, they're always one run, one touch away from making something magical happen. So to further, clearly I'm not rubbing it in, but to justify your point, if you have the ball if you get the ball second, then you have magic that can still
You know what you have
unfold.
to do. You know what you have to do. Doc, I don't even feel like he's not just like elite. You know what I'm saying? He's a top 5 quarterback of all time. Like he's a top 5 quarterback of all time. Who the hell wants to give him the ball last? Because I swear to you, if we score 7, they're going for 2. And I would too. If I have Patrick Mahomes and I'm 2 yards away from the Super Bowl, I'm going for 2. It's a baffling decision, man. It's a baffling decision to me. I don't. If I ever met Kyle Shanahan in person, I would tell him that I felt he made the wrong decision right there.
Oh, I think he's gonna hear that. I think he's gonna receive that feedback at some point.
He's already
if he hasn't already. If he hasn't already, I'm sure he's gonna get that feedback.
Chick, and then he says at the end of the game, because a lot of our frat brothers were saying, oh, he did it because the defense was tired. But they asked him at the end of the game, they go, did you do that because the defense was tired? Which clearly didn't matter, because if they were rested, Mahomes went right down the field and scored a touchdown anyways. He goes, no, that's not why I did it. I did it because I wanted to get the ball first if we went to sudden death, meaning if both teams were equal after their first possession. But Chick, if you wanted to do that, right?
That's overthinking.
If Mahomes scores the touchdown, they kick the extra point. Just go for 2. Just go for 2. And now it's sudden death. It comes down to one play. Like, no one will ever be able, dog, till the day that I die, I swear to you, no one will ever be able to make me believe that that was the right decision. No one.
It wasn't.
I gotta lean your way on that one. But hey, we don't get paid big bucks to make those decisions.
It's a classic case of overthinking.
Yeah, it's like if you're playing a basketball game, right? And it's gonna come down to the last shot, right? And you flip a coin toss, and you're playing against Michael Jordan. Are you gonna be like, hey, let me give Michael Jordan the ball last? No, you're not. You're gonna see what he does first and then react to that. Like, I might never get over this game, dog.
It's tough. No, I'm sorry, brother. I don't. Get over this game, I have not walked in your shoes. You know, the Super Bowl loss I got, the Giants got destroyed by the Ravens. So where that might just have been embarrassing, you know, I haven't watched any of the talking heads today. It's been one of them days,
I can't even watch, I'm not watching SportsCenter for at least 2 weeks.
Of course, no, you should. But it was a hell of a game. It was a Super Bowl that went into overtime, and they were seconds away from going into a second overtime. Like, for the general fan, that's the game that you want, right? And so,
not the game you want when you're rooting for one of the teams.
Nah.
I felt like I was online again. I felt like I was online, and the sun just went down. That's how I felt on the inside, dog.
Wait. Hold on. Time out. I don't want to lose that point. What's up, Dr. Young?
Hey, man, I just want to say thank y'all for letting me step on. I need to.
For sure.
I need to get to an orchestra performance, man.
And y'all check out the conversation with Carlton featuring Dr. Henry Young. It's out there on YouTube. Great discussion. Go enjoy the orchestra.
Hey,
my youngest is playing the. Say it again.
Before you go, can I brag on you?
No, man, don't do that, man. Please don't. Please don't do that.
Hey, man, just real quick. Dr. Young is an unbelievable brother. Always there for any one of us when we need it. I consider him mentor, hero, all of that stuff, man. Always just very grateful for you, my brother.
No, man, I am fortunate to have you brothers in my life, man. You all make me. So,
for background, Dr. Young is a Dolphins fan. He hasn't seen his team win a Super Bowl in 51 years.
Man, let's not talk about that, man. I see Joe on here too, man. So I know he go probably mute you after that. So
Hey, Joe, don't mute this. Don't cut this out, man. The only person alive when
mute
the
him,
Dolphins
Joe.
won it was Fox.
All right, fellas, y'all be easy.
All right,
Later,
man. Love
brother.
you, man. Thanks
Love
for
you.
hopping in.
Thank you, man.
So, all right. Any more thoughts, comments on the game? Because I got related questions surrounding the game, but what
I
other
hate
thoughts?
football. I hate
That's
football.
fair.
I don't want to watch
That's
football
fair.
anymore.
Well, you got
Until
6 months off. So you gonna watch the draft, or am I on my own with that?
Dog, you know I'm gonna watch the draft. I'm just talking shit.
I was just checking. I
I
didn't
am
want to
watching
assume.
closely Titans, Raiders, and
I only have room in my
those
heart
are
for
the
the
two.
Giants
Those
and
are the two teams
49ers.
I'm watching the closest in the draft: Titans and the Raiders. Different reasons.
I'm singularly focused. Hold on. Well, let's do it. We talk about it. I'll come back to that other stuff. I am singularly focused on the draft. The New York effing Giants is all that I will be able to see. I love the Titans ran. I'm praying for you, cheering for you. Make your splash. But I will not be paying any attention to any of the offseason activity for anybody except the New York Giants, because 1, we need a quarterback. 2, I want Saquon to come back. I'm
You got
not ready
Daniel
to have my
Jones.
heart broken. And 3, I've read things that people have said that Daniel Jones is our guy. I don't even want to understand what that means. I'm hoping that that's just clickbait. I can't. What I'm hoping, at least it doesn't mean, you could say it, but what it doesn't mean is that you're not getting a quarterback out of this draft. That is
What pick do y'all
unacceptable.
have?
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm
6.
lost.
What pick?
CI.
Huh?
6.
CI. Is Daniel Jones your guy?
Nah. That he would, when he got hurt,
You want them to get a quarterback.
that was, excuse me.
So you'd be okay with them changing quarterbacks this offseason somehow?
Yes.
Drafting
Somehow,
my
some way,
preference.
they
I
change
know who we
quarterbacks,
want.
either trade or draft. Are you with that?
Yes.
Carlton want the
Okay.
Giants to take Michael Penix.
Penix Jr.,
I know my
baby.
dog.
Michael
I
Penix
know my
Jr.,
dog.
baby.
You're not
I'm
taking
getting
Michael
emotional
Penix with
just
the
thinking
sixth
about
pick.
it.
I'll tell you that.
Well, somebody had him going in the 2nd round.
That's what I'm saying. You're not taking him with the 6th pick.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, look,
if you want one of the top 3 quarterbacks, you're gonna have to trade into the top 3.
Wait, time out. Just to be clear, you're saying Penix won't be there.
Penix will be there at 6. What I'm saying is the Giants are not going to pick him with the 6th
Because
pick.
he's not viewed as a top 3.
Yeah, and the last time the Giants overreached for a quarterback,
We got
his name
Daniel
was
Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, okay.
So I wouldn't make that mistake twice.
No, I mean, I don't know
What
I
do you
don't
think
know.
you could get for him on the market?
For Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Cup of coffee?
Nah, y'all tripping, dog. Y'all being
A dinner
disrespectful.
date on Valentine's Day.
Jokes, but y'all being
If I was
disrespectful.
the Giants and I'm with Carlton and I went into next year with the same quarterback room, I'd start Tyrod Taylor before I started Daniel Jones. He looked better than Daniel Jones.
So what do you do with Daniel Jones?
What's that
So
boy
you're
name?
saying you
They got Danny DeVito. Is it Danny DeVito?
gentlemen,
Tommy
are you
DeVito.
telling me
Tommy
that you're
DeVito.
standing by that they won't get for Daniel Jones?
Who wants Daniel Jones?
The Raiders.
Who's gonna pay for Daniel Jones?
Doc, Craig, you got to look at it this way. Who's going to give up compensation for Daniel Jones for the right to pay him $40 million?
Based on his body of work.
And that salary? Who's doing that? Come on, dog. You got to be realistic. Carlton's right about that.
Now.
So you ain't going to get nothing from him. All right, cool.
Dog, you couldn't trade Daniel Jones for Steamin' Willie Beam. A fictional character.
Stop it.
Thought...
I damn, dog. Why that just feels disrespectful though.
Why?
It is.
Tell me why. I'm curious.
I just feel like for all the media and the hype or whatever, like you gotta At least a second rounder.
Craig, let me phrase it to you this way. Craig, your team is the Raiders, right? That's your team.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cheering for the head coach right now. That's all I got to hold on to.
If I told you tomorrow the Raiders traded a second round pick for Daniel Jones, how would you feel, Craig?
All right, point taken. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's move on. Thank you. You would not be a happy man.
Point taken.
You would not be a happy man. That's my point.
I get you. I needed to feel it personally. I wasn't feeling it personally till you said it like that.
You needed to think about if this happened to my team, how would I feel? I feel like crap.
Because before I was offended on his behalf. Now, as a Raiders fan, I'm kind of insulted. Nah, don't do that.
Nah, you don't. I mean, Daniel Jones, nice guy.
I really love our head coach hire. I don't know if anything else gonna work out, but I love
Antonio Pierce.
Yeah,
former Giant.
That was good. That was good.
I respected him watching him so much as a player that it and then the impact that he appeared to have on the locker room. I respect both those things so much that it leads to my excitement. I'm thinking that he is the 2024 Dan Campbell from 2021, whenever Dan was hired.
I think
it's a very player-friendly.
I agree with you on the hire.
Forward-looking hire.
It was an excellent hire. For Carlton and the Giants, man, I've told Carlton this. I know he don't want to hear me on this, but I think the quarterback for them in this draft, if they do move up, is if they could get Jaden Daniels, I think that would be a sweet.
I'm not opposed. I
think your coach knows how to use a mobile
real
quarterback.
talk, Mo, you're onto something. I think he would low-key be a splash in New York.
It's not even
unexpected splash in New York.
It's the fit with the coach too, Craig, because Dayball, that's his name, right? Dayball. He knows how to use a mobile quarterback. Look what he got out of Jones the year they went to the playoffs. Jones ran for like 800 yards, and Daniels is a way better runner and athlete than Daniel Jones, even though Daniel Jones is a good athlete.
He's a good athlete.
He's a good athlete. But Daniels is a spectacular runner. I could see him thriving in that system, man.
And his resume in Buffalo also supports your point.
Yeah, it's just how much are the Giants willing to trade up? Because to get up into to draft him is going to cost. They can't even get the second pick because there's no way in hell the Commanders are trading the pick to the Giants. Like, they're in the same division. So they either need to get to the first pick or the third pick and hope Daniels isn't picked in the second pick.
Gentlemen,
yeah, and I heard the Bears want record-setting offerings for that first pick. They're not just giving it up.
As they should.
What's up, Craig?
I was gonna ask you, what do you guys? I wanted to ask, what do you think about the Commanders situation? How are you guys viewing that, and how would you play it out if y'all were the GM?
Well, I think for them, man, like the dream pick for them would be Caleb Williams because he's a DC kid, so you bring a local kid home. But I don't think.
Do we have any evidence that he's one of those local kids that want to go home?
It doesn't matter. It's the NFL. You go to where you're drafted.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to go to
you're
the
right,
Commanders.
But when we bring it up like it's a positive trait, what if he's one of them dudes that like, excuse me, I don't want to go home?
Somebody said they weren't gonna play somewhere. I
heard that Williams said something about playing for the Bears, but dog, this is the NFL. You play where you're drafted. You have no other option.
I wouldn't want to go to the Commanders if I'm him. They have a history of dysfunction. Granted, they got new ownership. I don't know how you feel about Dan Quinn being, the coach and all that stuff, but he's gonna go where he's gonna go where he's drafted. I don't think he's not Eli Manning and John Elway to be able to, dictate. And I don't know if this is the kind of league anymore where you can dictate, where you go like that. You can try.
John Manning and Eli Elway.
Who said? I said that?
You said John Manning and Eli.
Oh, John Elway and Eli Manning. I said it was a long day, man. You've been out here doing things. So my bad. It happens.
Gentlemen,
I'm no worse than Romo.
All of you bought in on the idea that Caleb is the number one.
Hold on, let's not go to Romo yet. What'd you say, Craig?
Carlton hates Caleb Williams, so Carlton is not.
I don't hate.
You, dog.
No, I'm not talking about as a person. I'm talking about as a prospect.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Not a fan of.
No, I don't want him. I don't want him.
I am a big fan. I think the Bears, Craig, should definitely take Caleb Williams, and it has nothing to do with Justin Fields. It has everything to do with if you can get a good quarterback at a rookie contract, I don't feel you can pass that up. Because the Bears, if they keep Justin Fields, are eventually going to have to pay him $30 to $40 million a year. I'm not sure I would be comfortable paying Justin Fields that yet.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, that's, to me,
I'm not sure.
That's the question.
Like
it's a business. It's a business. And we clearly see that teams, if they handle the business right, are able to create and build their team. They haven't won with Justin Fields. It's not totally his fault. Yeah, they would be starting over with another rookie with a high ceiling of potential, but he still got to get there. But if you tie yourself to Justin Fields' contract, then you can't build in other places.
This is one of those situations where it's not more cheap to keep.
It's definitely not cheaper to keep.
No.
Heard.
What else? Who else is popping in the draft? You got
Drake May.
How you feel about him?
I haven't seen enough of Drake May to give you an opinion, but dog, everyone says he's going to go in the top 3. They say the top 3 is going to be May, Daniels, Williams in some kind of order.
You know, they say
I feel
where
it's
he
real
goes.
Suspicious how they hating on pinups.
Yeah, I get it. He's not as physically athletic. He's had injuries. He's not as mobile as all those other 3 quarterbacks, and so
he's also seen the Dolphins win the Super Bowl. He's old.
He's old. But what is old? What, he 26?
Dog, he's in the 40 and up club with us. Like that's where he's at Saturday night.
No,
stop that. Stop that.
He's been in college like a decade.
Yeah, because of the injuries.
I like Penix too. I don't know if his game translates. The Michigan game scares me because they are like
you say he don't turn up to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Come on, that's messed up.
He was born May 8th, 2000. So he'll be 24 this year.
He was almost born in the 90s. It's old in these parts, man. I like Penix too. I'm not sure. You said other players that I love. Dog, this draft got some receivers. Ooh, they got some receivers, dog.
What is your boy Ohio State? Is he staying?
No, he's in the draft. He's in.
He's turning down the money, the NIL.
Yeah, dog.
22 million or something. I saw.
You can't mess around as a football player, man. You could get hurt and have an injury that'll end it forever.
No, that's a lot of money to be.
You got him. You got Romeo from Washington. You got Neighbors from LSU. This is a loaded wide receiver class. You got the tight end from Georgia, Brock Bowers. I like him a lot.
He's coming out. I like him.
Pass catchers, man. And it's a deep class for O linemen as well.
Thank God.
Like there's like 5-6 offensive tackles that could go in the first round.
And that's my concern with the Giants, right? We clearly need help on offensive line.
I don't know what they're gonna do. Same thing by the Raiders.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
The thing with O-line as a fan, from a fan's perspective, is it's like one of those things where it's critical. But when your team drafts an O lineman, shit's not exciting.
It's not. If you don't need a quarterback, you can. It's palatable, right? If you're not passing,
I'm not saying you don't realize the need.
Yeah,
even a buffoon could complete a pass if he stands on his feet long enough.
But it's critical. You win games in the trenches. I'm not saying that, but people aren't like, nobody's running out that's a 49ers playing. It's like, I want a Trent Williams jersey. Like, that it's just not exciting to the fan base. It's like,
yeah.
How would I describe it?
They gotta eat that.
It's like, it's like you kissing the girl and you get excited and she's like, we could still cuddle and we could do some other things, but I'm on my period. It's like that.
Call you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like that.
That's an unsolicited after dark, but yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Welcome to the dark side, Uncle Bo.
Yeah, we just getting topics for unsolicited after dark, but
It's a
Yeah,
great analogy for that's what drafting an old lineman's like.
no, it's fair. You know, we need it, but and I would be curious if you tell me Penix is not a first round quarterback. I don't know what I don't know. But if that be the case, and we get an old
Oh,
lineman,
I
I
think
see
he's
some
gonna
mock
go in the first
drafts.
round though.
Oh, you do? I see some mock drafts getting us an edge rusher. I feel like they need to figure it out. We got to get a quarterback out of this draft. It's too many. Granted, top 3, we're at 6. We got to get a quarterback out of this
How would you
draft.
feel if they traded for Justin Fields?
I talked to my Giants homie about it. We would have to pay him. And we still have so much else that we need to do on the team. We can't get locked into what his contract would be. I don't mind, I wouldn't mind
Doc, to
seeing
me,
him.
the other thing you need though is, if I'm being honest with you, you need receivers, man. That receiving core is rough.
I think
you believe in them. Just go ahead and say it. You believe in them. They've never done
we got
anything, but you
athletes
believe in
out
them.
there, man. I feel like we have athletes at receiver that are capable. You know, we don't have the O-line to get the quarterback to time, and we don't offset the running game and allow for some things. But your boy that we got from Tennessee, what's his name? The receiver from Tennessee, Jalen Hyatt. He showed what he's capable of. Now, what I don't see on the screen is he running his routes well. Are there reasons he didn't get the ball more? We got the tight end from Oakland. So
Waller.
He got injured a lot. He was on and off the field. Hodges. We got, I don't know. Do we have an elite number 1 wide receiver? No. And if you tell me we don't get a QB, but we get Marvin Harrison Jr., but then we still got Daniel Jones, I don't know how I feel about that.
Respectfully, is there a guy on your team that would be a starting number 2 on every other team?
See, I got me talking football again, and I wanted to hate football for at least 2 weeks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
F y'all. All right, dog. You want to go through a mock draft? Let's do the exercise. You ready? I got one pulled up. All right, first pick, they got Caleb Williams going to the Bears, this mock draft. Let's shout him out. What website am I on? PFF.com, ProFootballFocus.com. All right. Okay. They got Caleb Williams first. They got Drake May going to the Broncos because they projected a trade between the Broncos and the Commanders. Wow.
What would the Broncos be coming up from?
The Broncos would give up the number 12 pick this year, their first round pick in 2025, a 2025 second round pick, and a 2026 first round pick.
Woo. Do both of you believe Drake May is that?
I don't know.
Like I told you, dog, I won't comment on it because I haven't seen him play enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch him enough.
I only saw like 2 games, but I don't know if I was wowed to the point that I would trade that much. That is.
I don't know if I like Drake May more than Jaden Daniels.
That's exhilarating. What the hell?
Then third pick, they got the Patriots taking Daniels. Fourth pick, they got the Cardinals taking Marvin Harrison Jr. Doc, I don't want Marvin Harrison Jr. in the NFC West. Fifth pick, they got the Chargers taking Romeo Odunze, the receiver from Washington. Look at Carlton, eagerly anticipating this one. Sixth pick, they got the Giants taking the offensive tackle from Notre Dame, Joe Alt.
Protect
pause. Can I interject? Can I make a comment? Can I say something?
It's your team.
What good will that do me if we lose Saquon and Daniel Jones is our quarterback going into next season? I don't want that. That's all. If we got Saquon, you get us a better O-line.
For the cheap.
Who? Justin Fields?
But
he not coming for the cheap.
See, the thing with Saquon, dog, is if you don't improve the O-line, you're almost wasting his talent.
We have wasted his talent. That's what makes it. He has every right to leave us. We wasted his
Giants
talent.
are
We didn't
guilty of
pay him.
football war crimes.
We didn't pay him. So he's every right to go. I just don't want him to. He's the best talent that we've had on offense since I have been a fan in 1980 something.
He's the best talent y'all have had on
Pure
offense
offensive talent that we've had.
You rank him over Odell?
Since not, yeah.
Over Plax?
Yeah.
Oh.
Plax before the gunshot.
Yeah, Plax was a physical specimen, and he was reasons why we won. But Saquon is rare. Odell is up there. Odell would have been up
I can't
there.
think of one Hall of Fame player on the offensive side of football for the Giants, though.
Tiki Barber, he's not gonna get
in the
in.
Hall of Fame.
He's not gonna get in.
Plaxico's
just because they're not in there, it doesn't mean that they're not good enough, though. Like
no, but I see what he's saying,
the
dog. Like
older
if you
I
had
get, the more
Saquon
I
on the
start
right,
to look at the football and basketball Hall of Fame, like the Grammys. They miss a lot, and it's some B, it's some
but we don't disagree that none of those guys aren't Hall of Fame talents. I see what Carlton's saying. If you had Saquon in the right situation, he has Hall of Fame talent. He just doesn't have Hall of Fame production.
See me get emotional if he goes to another team and balls. I will be hurt.
If he goes,
I actually think he'd work well in Miami.
Miami, I've heard the Cowboys. I've heard
I think
Buffalo.
I think
not Buffalo.
Miami got to pay Tua. They got to pay Tua.
I've heard the Titans. I've heard the Cowboys. Like all of that hurts. I don't even want to think about it.
Any other teams you want to see in this mock draft?
Keep going. What's the just run the first round? Let's see.
Tennessee taking J.C. Latham. I mean, I think they need O-line help too. I don't know if I'd reach right there. If I was them and I wanted to take Latham, I'd probably trade down, accumulate picks, and then pick the O-tackle I wanted. Dallas.
What
Turner,
if he's not there? What if he's not
pick
there?
another offensive tackle because there's multiple in this first round.
Right.
But what if they don't grade out at the same grade? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, depending on your board, however you have your board ranked. You know, Carlton knows this about me. I don't care what player you draft. The key here in the draft is to get that player at a value that makes sense. And if you can accumulate picks and get a player that's comparable or even slightly less, I'd rather have a slightly lesser player and extra picks. The more cracks you take at it, the more likely you are to be successful, in my opinion.
I would rather my coach not have to coach a particular position and he could focus on others. I don't want to settle to a point where my coach or my position coach has to do more work at that position if I could avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Especially depending on what their specialties are.
Your point is well received, but the opposite, what you don't want to do is what the Giants did to get Daniel Jones. He was high on their board, but they forego. I don't know if you say it like that, but they relinquished all other scenarios and opportunities to get him with what was it, the 6th pick when people thought he might be there in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Now, if he had jumped up on other boards because of his athleticism, we don't know what we don't know. But look at what happened.
I'd like to ask you guys a question. I think it's more probable and likely for a good O-line to elevate a mediocre quarterback than for a good quarterback to elevate a mediocre O-line. So I'm always, let me not say always, I tend to err on the side of building from the line out, just because even a quality line could make a borderline moron look like a serviceable quarterback.
And to that point, that's Daniel Jones is not a moron, so I'm not suggesting
no.
His issue is how he thinks. His issue is how he thinks. That's the problem. So whether you block for him, don't block for him, his ability to think on his feet, to be creative, to ad-lib is significantly limited. And at this point, he's had every opportunity to prove who he can be. And and that uptick is a struggle for him.
Yo, can I put you on the spot?
Sure.
Who do you think is a better processor of information? Your current Giants quarterback or Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy.
Okay.
Brock Purdy. He's demonstrated that. He may not have the arm talent, and he's not Mahomes, but
that's Purdy's strength to me, is his ability to process information. Like, that's his strength.
Jones is an overthinker.
Turner at edge to the Falcons, a pass rusher. Malik Neighbors to the Bears. So the Bears could walk away here with a quarterback and a receiver to go along with DJ Moore. That would be nice. If I'm the Bears, I'd be excited about it. They got Washington, who traded down, taking the quarterback from Michigan, JJ McCarthy. Ooh.
They need a quarterback, and that's their guy. See, that's your point, Craig. That's what your point is. So, are there other quarterbacks on draft boards higher? Probably, but if Washington gets more picks, makes the moves, and gets still their quarterback or a top quality quarterback, that's a great draft.
Other picks. They got Jared Verse, the pass rusher from FSU, going to the Vikings. Talisi Fuaga, offensive tackle, to the Jets. They definitely need O-line help. Byron Murphy, the second corner, to the Raiders. Olamaya Fashunia, offensive tackle, to the Saints. Kerryon Arnold, corner, to the Colts. Troy Fatunua, offensive tackle, to the Huskies. There's a lot of tackles, man.
To the Huskies, you say who? Huh? You said to the Huskies.
Best draft ever.
To the Seahawks, sorry.
Seahawks, okay.
Jackson Powers Johnson, a center, to Jacksonville. Look at this pick that they got. Brock Bowers, the tight end, going to the Bengals. Wow.
The Bengals are going to be the Bengals are going to be angry next season.
What number is that?
Yeah, I agree.
What number pick is that?
They got him going at the 18th pick.
For the Bengals, that might be a chess move potentially.
Oh, that's a crucial move.
But look, am I tripping? I feel like I know their O-line has come a certain way. Do you think they still should invest one more piece in that O-line? Because it's been a point of criticism for a couple of years now with the Bengals.
Yeah, but they've spent so much money in free agency on their O-line. I don't think you can just...
So, no more. They spent enough is what you're saying.
At some point, you got to coach them up.
At some point, you also got to coach them up. And then at some point, you know...
I'm willing to accept that.
The Bengals' problem this year, I don't think, was talent. It was health. They were never healthy. So, you know, you want to see what they could do at full strength healthy.
I accept that.
Latui Latu, edge rusher, to the Rams. This is who I want the San Francisco 49ers to take down. Quinion Mitchell, cornerback from Toledo. That is who I want the 49ers to take. But they got the Steelers taking him with the 20th pick here. The next guy that I want the Niners to take
Whoa, don't speed past that. Why you want him, bro?
I just like his measurables at corner. I like that even in the era of NIL, he had a chance to leave Toledo, but he decided to stick it out there because he felt a sense of loyalty to them. And at the Senior Bowl, Craig, he killed it. He looked like the best player on the field. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Since the pandemic, I ain't watched one Senior Bowl.
He looked like the best player on the field.
Huh?
Yeah, I used to as well. I don't
the best player on the field at the Senior Bowl. So
really?
I was impressed, dog. I was impressed.
I don't know what happened, but something about the pandemic year I ain't watched since.
I haven't. It's been longer than the pandemic. I haven't watched.
Another guy I want the Niners to look at, offensive tackle Tyler Guyton, Oklahoma Sooners. They got the Dolphins taking him. They got the Eagles taking Kool-Aid McKinstry, corner from Alabama. Dog, no disrespect, but come on, Mama McKinstry. You named the boy Kool-Aid. Like, come on now. Like, seriously. He needs Doc. His agent, if his agent doesn't get this man a Kool-Aid deal, something is seriously wrong, dog.
Do they
Even
still
if it's
make
just
Kool-Aid?
one flavor.
They still
Dog,
make Kool-Aid?
we had Kool-Aid at the Super Bowl party yesterday, and it was gone within seconds.
Okay, who made it?
Kamaria made it.
Okay.
Gone in seconds, dog. Jerzon Newton, I don't know what he does. Interior defensive lineman, a D tackle to the Texans. Amarius Mims, offensive tackle to the Cowboys. Cooper DeJohn, cornerback for Iowa. Is he white? Someone Google that while we're talking.
Come on, dog. Why you ask that? Because you saw Iowa?
No, I'm looking at his picture, but I can't tell through the mask. Because, dog, you don't see a white corner often.
Iowa
think he
tells
is.
one thing. Cooper
He
DeJohn
is,
might
isn't
tell
he?
you another.
He is
I think
Carlton?
he is.
Oh, Jason Seahorn's loving this pick.
I think
What
he
number
is.
is that one?
25th to the Packers. Graham Barton, offensive tackle to Tampa. Dog, look at all the offensive tackles in this draft.
So it's,
Nate
look, built from the
Wiggins.
inside out.
Nate Wiggins to the Cardinals, another corner. Brian Thomas, an LSU wide receiver to Buffalo. Darius Robinson, edge rusher to Detroit. Minnesota taking Bo Nix.
I forgot
That might
about
be a
Bo
sneaky
Nix.
good pick. He is a
I
good
forgot
player.
about Bo Nix.
That might be a sneaky good pick.
The 49ers taking Jordan Morgan. The 49ers, to me, in this draft have to walk away with O-linemen because outside of Trent Williams, man, we need help on the O-line, in my opinion. We just do. And then, then they got Kansas City taking Keon Coleman, the receiver from Florida State.
The rich just keep getting richer.
Oh, they got a second round part. They got at number 34 in the second round, the Las Vegas Raiders taking Michael Penix.
No. If he makes it to the second round, the Giants not gonna let it happen.
They're talking about the Raiders trade up in this draft to take Penix.
If he makes it to the second round, the Giants are not gonna let that happen.
They got y'all in the second round taking Adonai Mitchell, the wide receiver from Texas. I like him.
I like him.
I saw a few of his highlights. That is a
And in the second round, they
distraction.
got the 49ers taking a corner. I think the 49ers have to go O-line corner, and just keep going. Just keep going.
All right. So we talked game, we talked draft. Did you all pay any attention to the halftime show?
Yeah, man, it's Usher, of course.
Yeah. Can you get with it? It's like that. It's only a sexual thing.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give it?
On a scale
1 being
of 1
mad,
to 10.
10 being amazing.
1 to 10. I'll tell you, it's one of my top 5 favorite Super Bowl performances. I'll say that.
Top
8.8.
8.8.
I'll say my top 5 in no order, dog, would probably be Usher. I love Bruno Mars show. I love Dr. Dre and Snoop show last year. That's definitely 3. Michael Jackson's shit was lit. I'll give that 4. And then, I'll probably go with my boy Prince. That would be my top 5 Super Bowl shows.
Prince, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Dre, Snoop. I mean, I enjoyed Usher.
I didn't say Beyonce. I said you're saying Beyonce for yourself.
I'm saying Beyonce.
Yeah.
I'm saying Beyonce.
And for 6, I'd give it to 6 for me would probably be Janet Jackson's nipple.
I mean,
I'd give it to Janet Jackson's breast.
I remember where I was. I'd say that. I know exactly where I was when it happened. And when the game was over, I went on the internet to see if I saw what I saw.
And saying, that's a nipple. I know a nipple when I see a nipple, and that was definitely a nipple.
Oh,
You're supposed to act like you when you see it.
No, it was an excellent show. I thought it was an excellent show.
I love that he was willing to share the spotlight with others too, man.
Hey, he showed his nipples too,
I really
buddy.
enjoyed that.
I was wondering.
My song, dog.
I was like, is he gonna stay like that the rest of the show? Like,
dog,
he came out of it.
though.
He flashed some nipples too.
What the hell was Jermaine Dupri wearing? Why did he have on the tuxedo that little kids wear at weddings?
He had a choice. Jermaine Dupri had a choice last night, and that's what he chose. He planned to do that.
Oh my God.
Fashion violence.
He chose fashion violence. Seriously. Like, I don't know what Jermaine Dupri was doing. But dog, Usher was top 5 to me the minute he sang my song. Like, anytime I hear it, dog.
What's your song?
It's where's he
His
at 7 o'clock, Carlton? Where's he at 7 o'clock, Carlton? That's my song.
First of all, his transitions, bro. You tripping.
Are y'all going to an Usher concert?
I already went to the one in Vegas. I was at the Keke Palmer show. I was at the Keke Palmer show, man.
Speaking of,
the show in Vegas is spectacular.
Speaking of, Alicia Keys was part of the performance. Thoughts, reactions on the future of her marriage?
I thought Swiss Beats handled that brilliantly, where he deaded it and then he promoted some of his own thing. My thing, man, and bro, just it might be me, huh?
Go. I wait. Go ahead.
Yeah, Swiss Beats made a comment about it, and he said that's family and that it was nothing, and people are always trying to make something out of something. And he also said, you know, he used that moment to promote his own thing, which I thought was brilliant. But I'm cool that Swiss Beats is good, and you know, I hope nothing happens to their marriage. It seems like everything's fine. But dog, I'm just old school, man. I don't believe that's appropriate. Like, I wouldn't hold. You know, if me and one of y'all wives was singing a song, or one of your girlfriend were singing a song, I would not hold her like that. So that's just me. That's just me. I just wouldn't. Like, I would feel uncomfortable, dog. Like, I wouldn't. I don't feel like you should ever hold a lady that's your boy's lady or your boy's wife in a position where, I don't know, she could feel a little poke coming through on her. Don't feel like that's right. That's just me, though. That's just me.
Craig, you appear to have thoughts on the topic. What are we reading on your facial expressions?
Bruh, the celebrities in the celebrity world. You got a big hit with my girl in a song entitled My Boo. That little quick hug on that little thing on stage, I'm gonna eat that. That's not that big of a deal to me, bruh. And if I'm performing, I expect you to eat that. Especially if you're my homie and we done have a bunch of hits and slaps and other collaborations together, or a history of even knowing each other, rolling in the same circles. I think analyzing that Alicia Keys moment is going too far. That's just me personally on that. Like, dog, we on stage. It's just a performance thing. If you've ever been on stage before, it's just a performance thing. Like, come on, dog. You've done a step show and made eye contact with the judges and flirt with the judges in the middle of your fucking step routine. It don't mean I'm gonna bang the judges and cheat on my girl. Like, that
Me and Mo didn't do that. That's you. You telling on yourself.
I ain't telling Jack.
Flirting with the judges. Is that how we won? Is that how we won? You put that unsolicited after dark eyes on them.
You put that unsolicited after dark.
I'm going to defer to other gentlemen on the team and have you ask them that.
I'm like you, Craig.
Look, I just don't think it's a big deal.
I don't think it's a big deal.
Performance. It's not like it was like actual.
I wouldn't do it though.
If it's like, you know, on some Adam 22, somebody's actually penetrating your woman, then yeah, you're tripping.
You know, Swiss was probably at the rehearsals, right? Like, if you in that lane, if you're an actor, actress, a miss,
you know, how many hugs
does she did. She looked back at it though. She did look back, and she had that little smirk. You know,
yeah, you're performing. They're performers. Get out of here with that, bro.
But I also think Usher's embracing this new role that people have put on him.
Like
I would too. Lean into it, Usher. Lean into it.
Like my homeboy.
I'm supporting it. And maybe that's just me because I was a big fan of the LL Cool J Walking Like a Panther album. Go back and listen to that content. Whatever. Maybe it predisposed me to be the way I am.
This man went to Walking Like a Panther by LL.
Yeah,
Shout
I'm that
out,
type of guy.
shout out to
I'm
Winston
that type of guy.
of Cuff Design. He
So
made the comment. He made the comment that Usher done told y'all 50, 11 times, don't bring your girl around me.
Round me, she playing for real. For real.
you ain't want to
Did
listen.
the Wayne
You didn't
turn?
choose to listen. Deal with it.
Will
Yeah.
arise. Dog, we were all singing in the living room. Like it was like we were all
Yeah, it was
singing.
good. It was a good show. I mean, and for us, and we're of the same age. We're the same age as Usher, and so as he's come up, his song has been in the background. His music has been in the background of our
I had
lives.
Can You
So,
Get With It on a cassette single.
man,
On a
he had
cassette
cassettes.
single.
I only had him on CD.
Damn.
Oh
ain't
no,
have
I
no-
had Can You
God
Get With
dang,
It on a
Carlton.
cassette single.
Carlton, maybe Craig saw the Dolphins win the Super Bowl. This man.
Yeah,
Nah,
You
but I'm
stuck
old
with it.
enough to remember Roger Craig jerseys in South Florida.
Oh
You
my!
stuck
Don't
with it.
dog.
Don't
I
bring
don't
up
want to
Roger
hear
Craig.
Roger Craig's name, man.
Can't talk about Roger Craig.
I'm just saying
He's
it's true though.
persona non grata.
No,
All
why
right.
is he not in the Hall of Fame, Mo?
Because
he
he
fumbled.
fumbled in that big game. That's exactly why.
That's it. In general, but dog. All right.
I mean, he wasn't a
Them numbers were
recurring
worthy.
1,000-yard rusher, I don't think. And how long did he play, Mo? I know he was significant for our age, to be kids watching it, but how many
Roger
years?
Craig only has 8,000 career rushing yards. He only averaged 4.1 yards per carry. Dog. He only had 56 career touchdowns. I'm not
Only
sure.
4.1.
I mean, dog, but you have
most
people like
will
Fred
want their current
Taylor.
running back to average 4.1.
Oh, a lot, dog. Like the great running backs. Like, look, Fred T can't get in, and Fred T averaged 4.6, and he had 11,600 yards.
Yeah.
And Fred T can't get in.
But his name wasn't Craig.
So, that's your bias. All right. So
he only had 3,000-yard rushing seasons, Carlton. He played 10 years. He only had 3,000-yard rushing seasons.
yeah, that's what I knew. 10 years is lengthy enough, but he didn't. I felt like the 1,000 yards wasn't what he was collecting.
His crucial year was 85. He had 1,050 rushing yards, and he had 1,000 yards receiving too.
All right.
Yeah, I remember that. I'd been in the country about a year and a half at that point. Yeah.
So Mo, I got one for you. Since we talking Hall of Fame, how about my boy Devin Hester? He is in.
I don't agree with that, man. I do agree that he's the greatest returner of all time. And congratulations to Devin Hester too. I just don't believe a kick returner should get in over. Like, there's no way you'll ever convince me that Devin Hester deserves to be in the Hall of Fame before Torrey Holt does or Reggie Wayne. So that's my point to you. These guys were every down players. They impacted the game more than Devin Hester did. Devin Hester got in because he is the greatest returner of all time. That's unquestioned, without a doubt. But listen to the names I just said.
That's the why. They got kickers in there, right?
But I don't agree with that either. I'm consistent with this.
That's your bias. Okay,
I
that's
would
fair.
rather a clutch kicker could win you, like Adam Vinatieri. Would you rather have? Let me ask you this: would you rather have Adam Vinatieri or Devin Hester?
If I can get instead,
but I don't think kickers should be in either.
If I could get your boy at the Ravens, if I can get him as my kicker,
Justin Tucker,
and then have Devin Hester, I go with that.
I'm just saying, dog. I'm not a believer in like special teams players should be getting in over these position players.
And what I heard as they gave him the award and talked about or informed him, so to speak, as I saw little highlights of all of that, it seemed that the recognition is for what he did as a special teams player over the history of the NFL. So, shout out to Freeney, shout out to Hester, Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers, your boy Patrick Willis. I was a little surprised at that, but because he cut it short, but in that short time, he was the man. He even retired on top. And then Randy Gradishar, I wasn't familiar with him, and Steve McMichael. So, congratulations to this year's class.
Mm-hmm. Congrats,
Commercials.
dog. Like you'll never convince me that Hester should have got in over Antonio Gates.
Special teams, I think. I hear you though.
Antonio Gates was shocking to me. I can't believe he didn't get in, to be honest with you.
I thought he was first round because he revolutionized the position.
Mm-hmm.
He revolutionized the position. So I thought he was, but Michael Irvin didn't get in that first time. Chris Carter didn't get in. And granted, I know they had history, but I think Craig, it's
that's
not
even the more egregious one. The most egregious
No,
one
I
at
just wanted to get
receiver.
the name Craig out there.
The most egregious one at receiver is T.O. not getting in on the first ballot. They tried T.O. with that, man.
Yeah. But and again, I don't
brought
think
that
it's
on
as bad
himself.
as the Grammys or the Oscars in terms of just the validity of the voting.
Politics.
But it's politics in it because no reason they should not have gotten in first ballot.
T.O. is easily a top 5 receiver of all time.
Did you see him and Chad Johnson little bromance hug? Gotta hug your boys, man. Don't be afraid to show your homies affection. All right, so before we get out of here, one more Super Bowl topic: the commercials. Overall, I thought they sucked.
I didn't pay attention to any of them. I can't speak on it.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger State Farm commercial definitely won it for me. But overall, I don't know if this was the writer's strike. Maybe they didn't have enough time to come up with commercials, or there's just not too much more else you can create in fantastic or funny commercials. But it was relatively bland from where I sat.
Commercials are drink and food breaks. I didn't see enough of anyone to speak on anyone respectfully.
All right.
Dog, when the game
food
wasn't
though.
on, I was so nervous. I was just pacing up and down. I didn't pay attention. I'd get up from my seat and I'd pace. The game would come back on, then I'd sit down.
Yeah.
That's
I was
fair.
rubbing the frost from the Stella cans.
All right, gentlemen. We have come to the end of the NFL season. It was fitting that they played Boys to Men. It's so hard to say goodbye. I remember our discussion from a previous episode, and I felt that. I felt it. I said I'm not gonna cry, but I felt the goodbye. Because it's the NFL of all the popular U.S. sports has the longest drought. I think it's the shortest season with the longest off season. But I think it was a hell of a season. A lot of excitement, parity down to the end. I mean, I think if you can end the Super Bowl with an overtime game, the fans won. It was the only second time that it had happened. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons. But it's over. And so now we will transition to other areas of life. We will talk a little more basketball. I'm going to try again to engage in college basketball. I actually have had more games playing in the background. Maybe I can tune in prior to March Madness, but
because the Gators look decent. I've been watching the Gator games.
They scrappy. They scrappy, right? They beat Kentucky.
Auburn.
They beat Kentucky a couple weeks ago.
They slapped Auburn at home. Like,
yeah,
they
scrappy. They're a scrappy team, so we'll see. Any parting thoughts before we get out of here? Anything you want to languish on NFL? What you got coming up you want to talk about?
My Niners, man. I love y'all till the day I die. Heartbreak and all. But, I just want to say to the people that stick with their team, that this is, and I don't know if they'll ever win again in my lifetime. I pray that they do, but
I hope they do for you, Mo.
This is what makes it sweet. Like if they ever do break through, all this heartache, all this heartbreak is worth it. That's the thing about being a loyal fan, that you pray that one day it pays off. Like Carlton's been with the Giants since he was a kid. I've been with the Niners since I was a kid, and Carlton's seen them win 4 Super Bowls. I've seen the Niners, win like 3 with my own eyes.
How about them Raiders?
I've never seen the
Not in
Raiders
your
win a
lifetime.
Super Bowl with my eyes. I saw them get waxed by the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl.
And I felt
but
bad. That was rough.
But
Hey, what
dog,
about that thing in the snow? Huh?
oh, that was a robbery.
That was
definitely
highway
a fumble.
robbery.
Yeah,
That
Carlton's
was
hot about that too, because
shenanigans.
Carlton loves
Give us
Charles
some
Woodson.
sympathy. All right, cool.
That was shenanigans.
I'll say, like, you don't get to see your team win often. Like even if you're a Patriots fan, you've only seen them win 6. And there's been a lot of years of football. So if you're out there and your team's broken your heart like my team's broken my heart, you just got to hope that one day, you get that sweet victory, be the last team standing at the end of the year. So
any parting words, Craig?
I just hope to see it with my son, man. Just one time with my son. Just that's all I want.
Let's go Raiders.
Oh, as always,
I'm optimistic.
Shout out to Joe Nitty.
Shout
I
out
hope
Joe
he
Nitty.
gets to see the Dolphins win it in his lifetime.
Do you though? I mean,
I love Joe Nitty. I love Joe Nitty.
him, but there's other Dolphin fans that we know. It's like
I
there are a
love your
couple
mom.
Cowboy
She's a
fans I
Dolphins
like.
fan.
Hey, I want a
one.
reason to go to Joe Robbie myself.
They don't got to get one. They
I
don't
want
got to
them
get
to
one
make me
on
stop
my
calling
watch.
it Joe Robbie.
Because you know why?
I really think that the Dolphin is a detriment. I feel it's not intimidating. When people see the Dolphins, Joe Nitty said, "We're gonna get a shit before your teams." I highly doubt that.
The issue I have with Dolphins, because I've been sympathizing with them for several seasons now. It's how they behave when they win a couple games. They would turn out on the internet, outfits and dances and songs and all this ridiculousness. And what happened? And so what I know is if the Dolphins win the Super Bowl, they will be as, if not more, insufferable as Dallas Cowboy fans. And I'm not trying, I can't live like that. I can't live like that. I can't.
But I don't think they can win until I really think they need to rebrand as the Miami Sharks. Because the Dolphins is not intimidating.
Hey, there are more sharks at our beach than friggin' dolphins. Word is bond.
That's another thing. Before the game, Carlton, I sat there, I watched, I went to my speech in Any Given Sunday. I was so hyped. That speech always gets me hyped. The inches we need are all around us, man.
I played that for your nephew before a big test. He had a big test, and I didn't know what else to tell him. So I said, you know what? Don't tell your mama, because it's language. But when it was over, he said, "Thanks, Dad."
Did he ask you? Did he ask you what did he mean when he said he pissed away all his money?
Nah, he knows. He knows. We talk economics.
Every mistake a grown man can make. Oh, dog, that speech.
Yeah.
Hey, just one more. We're still at 5.
Let's see, 81, 84, 88, 80. That 94 team, that's the last. I watched that game with my dad. Ironically enough, 10 years later is when he passed away. This will be 10 years since 20 years since he's been gone. But I watched the 94 game with my dad, and that's I really didn't like y'all. I was cheering for the Chargers, but that was a hell of a team. That was they just did the top 5 football teams, and I didn't disagree with the list. I think they put the Rams. Maybe who was it? Greeny, maybe it was Greeny's list, and he had the Rams at the top. But that 93, 94.
What Rams team? He's crazy.
Kurt Warner.
No, that's crazy,
Kurt
dog.
Warner. Marshall Faulk knows.
That's crazy.
But he had the Bears, the Rams, gave it to the Dolphins because they were undefeated. I don't remember the other 2 teams, but nothing over the top. nothing to debate or argue about. But that 94 49ers team, Ricky Waters, Deion Sanders, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, everybody else on defense, because y'all had Norton then too, right? He was on that team. Had he come
Yep.
over?
Dion was on that team.
That was
I mean, my
something to
favorite
see.
Niners team is probably the 88 or 89 Niners with Montana or Rice. One of them teams went 15-1, man. So that's probably my favorite Niners team. You see this one, the 84? Can you see the 84, Carlton? You see the 84?
I see it.
Yeah, Nitty. The 84 is when we beat the Dolphins.
That was the Dolphins.
Yep.
And they thought they would be back. They thought that Marino was going to be back. It wasn't a big deal.
Marino thought he was going to be back. That's where he needed me as a friend. And I would have told him, you don't know if you're going to be back. I'm telling you now, Dan. You don't know.
All right, man. My shout out before we get out of here is what's upcoming is Miami Heat. Y'all, I need y'all to get it together, man. You know, I understand Spo. I see I've seen what you can do. I know what you can do, but we don't gotta wait till the playoffs. You know, that the Boston game, y'all came back, but it still wasn't enough. And it was Super Bowl Sunday, so I entered into the Super Bowl game with a little bit of angst because I feel like about Boston the way I do about the Cowboys. But that's all. I just, I want the Heat to, all right, it's time now. Let's go ahead and get it going.
You see Cleveland shot up all the way to the 2 seed. They've won 9 games in a row. Wow.
So Boston's still at 1.
Boston's 1, Cleveland's 2, Milwaukee's 3, the Knicks are 4, 76ers are 5, but Embiid's out. Pacers are 6, the Magic are 7, the Heat are 8, the Bulls are 9, the Hawks are 10.
See, the Heat, they in the playing game, and I don't need that stress. You know
how
what I
many
mean?
games are they out from? They're
1 game.
1.5 games out.
1.5 games out.
Yeah. Magic are only a half game out. Hey, man, I told y'all this early. I got the Clippers. I told you I got the Clippers early.
I've been looking a little. I've looked at them a little more. I've been looking at them a little more.
They're balling.
We'll see. It's time now.
What I would give for Craig's Lakers not to make the playoffs.
The Lakers are 9.
They're 9, but they're 1.5.
That's very probable. You might get your wish.
Oh, I would love it, dog. I would love it.
They're 3.5 games out of the 6th seed.
They are
LeBron.
They're definitely a modern team where they play different after the break and after certain deadlines. That as much as we don't like the idea as a purist that there's some switch that you turn on or off. You're going to see a different Laker team after this weekend. And I think we'll get a better picture of who they really are.
And here come the Warriors. 4 in a row, 7-3 in their last 10. Here come the Warriors. They're finally back at 500. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Dog, LeBron is a good man. He's an amazing basketball player. He's so damn whiny. It's annoying. Like it's just so easy not to cheer for the Lakers, man.
Agreed.
He's so whiny, dog.
Like, I might not, if he wasn't wearing a Laker uniform, I might not cheer for him. Totally agreed.
The problem for the Lakers is they're fine at home. They're 18-9 at home. They're 10-17 on the road.
All right. Well, a lot of basketball to be played. We will be talking about it. So, to you two gentlemen, happy Monday, happy end of the NFL season, if I can even say that. Again, Uncle Mo, sorry, man. If I was saying your name, if you people at my house, all they heard me was say, "Oh, Mo, oh no, Mo." I say, "Oh, what is Mo gonna do? What is Mo gonna do?"
I'm sorry I didn't take your call too, man.
None of them. You didn't take my phone calls, my text messages. I didn't take
nobody's call, man.
I called other people to try to get to you. You want to talk to Mo? Yeah, he said, "Not right now." So my feelings weren't hurt. I just I was just checking on you.
I appreciate that, dog.
I just checked because I thought y'all was gonna win. I thought
at one point
going into the game,
I thought I was gonna throw up.
Going into the game, I thought that y'all was gonna muscle them, but Mahomes is that dude, man.
I
And
always believe
that's
we're gonna win, dog. So that's not like a thing for me. Like I don't ever go into a game thinking we're like gonna lose unless we suck. You know, when your team sucks, you know what's gonna happen.
I don't
But
know.
I
I don't know
thought
nothing about that. I don't know nothing about
I,
that.
I knew we were, like dog. There's a point when your team is so bad, you're like, I don't want us to win because you want the draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Unless they put in Tommy DeVito, unless you get Tommy DeVito.
oh my god,
It
Tommy
was
Cutler.
exciting for 2 weeks. It was some excitement for 2 weeks in the low. Remember, we started the season 40 zip to the
When
Cowboys.
will we ever retain the lesson we learned from Linsanity? That was just Linsanity all over again in football.
Probably.
Oh,
Probably.
That
it
was
is.
Jeremy
Probably.
Linsanity all over
Probably.
again, but in
DeVito
football.
might not even be on the Giants next year. He might not even
We'll
be on the
see.
roster.
That might be our future, man. That might be our future. Coach him up.
Tommy
Coach him up.
Cutlets.
Coach him up, Dable. Coach him up. All right, gentlemen. It was fun. See y'all next Genius time, next Genius on the next Genius channel. Same what it say? Different time, different channel. But we'll be together again soon. Happy Super Bowl Monday. Thank y'all for joining us. Shout out to Dr.
Hey,
Young. Go ahead.
yep.
Shout out to Dr. Young. Thank you for joining the show. And we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.